Good morning. Oops, no, not there. Thank you for coming to Shantae's Corner, where we are here to uplift, support, and encourage one another. So, today I want to talk about why you're not married. Where's your boyfriend? Do you have a man? Those questions, oh my gosh. And I don't know if guys get those, but I just that really bothers me. And it's not always it's not always males that ask that. It's females as well. And if you say no, I don't have a boyfriend, well, what's wrong with you? Why you don't have a husband? you know are you gay or lesbian, or whatever. It's like, just because somebody's not dating does not mean that they are not heterosexual. I, you know, I know for myself, and I can speak on why I'm still single. I love to hear if you guys have anything to add. And another thing is when they say, oh, the older you get, you're not going to find anybody, everybody's already set. My thing is, who God has for me is for me. Now, not to say that sometimes we don't mess things up, because I'm sure, there are people who walked away from the person they should have been married to. And you just never know if that's going to come back around again. So I can't say that I won't always be single, but I do believe that who God has for me is for me. Now, I can only tell you my story and why I'm still glad that I chose to remain single. Back in 2010, I was engaged to be married to somebody. He was a great guy, a nice guy, but I knew myself. I was not mentally, spiritually, physically ready to be a wife, and I ended the relationship. So I know I really should have probably never said yes, but as somebody who never dated, that was my first real relationship, and I just wanted to be loved truly. It took me developing a relationship with Christ to let go of the hurt and the rejection and the disappointment that I had, because I know that had I married that guy, that gentleman, it not saying that we wouldn't still be together today, but it I don't think I would be where I am. I'm pretty sure I would not be where I am spiritually. I had a lot of growing up to do, and he was younger than I was, so he is 10 years younger than I am. So, I mean, I don't think that that would have been healthy for either of us. I've grown so much, and I've let go of so much baggage that I was holding on to at that time. The person I am today is not even the same person that I was a year ago. As you grow and go through things, you learn, you mature. And at that time, like I've mentioned before, I've always been a Christian all my life, but I've not always been a Christ follower. And that did not happen until I relocated to California, which was a couple years after that relationship ended. And I have grown so much spiritually since then. And it was necessary. I needed to know who my Heavenly Father was, because I didn't have that relationship with an earthly father. So in order to love, you have to know how to receive love. And at that time, I was not able to receive love nor give it. Just to be honest, I didn't know how. And my church in California, my pastor taught on love for 2 years. So, we joked about it. And we're like, when are we going to get off love? When are we going to stop learning about love? But now I can say that was so necessary to learn about love. For 2 years, we were taught on love. So, I know that God has healed me from all of the things I dealt with, and we don't realize how we carry that stuff on into our relationships. The abandonment of our fathers, the rejection we feel from our parents, the rejection we feel from our peers, all of that stuff you carry until you give it over to God and let Him heal you, because you still have scars that are covered up, that you're covering up. That's why people hold on to unforgiveness. That's why people hold on to being angry with their parents. The rejection of us, a mate, somebody that they were interested in. The rejection of a father is a big one. It's definitely something I had to let go of, and it hinders us from truly having a relationship. So if you're still holding on to things that somebody else did, how can you truly love your spouse? Because you're still holding on to something that they had nothing to do with. And I've seen that. I've seen that in many relationships. You carry that mistrust, that you can't trust somebody because of what somebody else did. And it's the same with God. How are we going to trust God if we can't trust men here? So you have to be healed in order to truly live and have a God-filled relationship. And that's what we should desire as Christian men and women. That's what I truly desire, a God-led relationship, not just something that I choose to do. And like I said, I had a lot of healing to do, and especially in regards to my vision. I had been put down so much that I had to have all those layers of hurt removed, and that was layers. That took time, guys. It didn't happen overnight. Not saying that for some people they're delivered. Some people are delivered from that hurt and rejection overnight, but for me it was layers. And that's why in my poetry I wrote a poem called The Mask, and you have to take that mask off. Now, like I said, this mask can be like, if you think of a mummy, it's layered. For me, it was. Some people, it may just break and shatter, but that's not how it worked for me. And it took the unveiling of who God sees me as in order for me to be able to love myself. I can truly say I love myself. And it's not in a prideful, boastful way, but we should love who we are, because if we can't love ourselves, then how are we going to love somebody else? You have to have love for yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to have that love for Christ. And when you have that, then you're able to truly love thy neighbor, So that's what I wanted to leave with you guys, why I am single, and I'm sure other single people get that question also. So I would like to know, you guys, what do you think? Why are you single? If you like to share, have you heard that before? And do you agree with what I said, as I know that God had to make me whole in order for me to be receptive and to be a good spouse for my husband? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys on today. I look forward to hearing your responses. Have a wonderful day. God bless.